My name is Chris. This is the Chamael Corp, and today I'm going to show you how I sand my rank pips that I make. They are very small, they're very circular. If you sand them by hand, they will quickly become uneven. So my solution is you take a drill, you put the bit in backwards so the flat end is sticking out, and then with the magnet in the pip, you put it on the end, and when you spin it, you can take your sandpaper and it evenly sands and applies pressure, and it keeps the circular shape without any of the unevenness that you're going to get if you try to do this by hand. So why don't we watch a couple and we'll see what happens. Okay, so the first thing I do is I get my sandpaper, and I'm using a 120, a 220, a 400, and then I need to grab an 800 as well. And the first thing I do is I go through and I sand the top of the pips, 60, 220, 400, and 800, to smooth that down first. Then we pop it on, we grab the 60, and we just, as we get the drill going, we're just lightly moving the sandpaper across the pip. Here we go. Now, as we are going along, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this or not. Okay, so you can kind of see I've got some darker black and we've got some lighter black. That's because the pips are not completely even when they print. You know, when they print on the bottom and they work their way up, and you can even kind of see how the bottom of this one comes out a little bit more because those first couple layers. So it takes some time, but it does work. All right, I turned on some light, but what you can see is everything is mostly level now. The dark black color would indicate that there are some low spots or some grooves, and the whole idea is to sand it down until everything is kind of flush with each other. Now that the 120 is done, we're going to move to the 220, then the 400, and then the 800. So that's kind of... All right, we've gotten through the 800 grit, and you can see that this is much smoother than, for example, this is. So now, what do we got right here? Just some dust. Okay, so here they are. And we can see that they look pretty good. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get them ready for painting. Now, I use a matte black or a flat black spray paint. And because they're so small and light, and they already have magnets in them, what I end up doing is I have an old saw blade. And if I can find which one goes where, this ensures that they stay where they're supposed to stay when they're being painted. So we're gonna go up, we're gonna hit them with some black, and we will see what they look like when they are dry.
So the black paint, the matte black, has been applied and is dry. And everything looks good. We can move on to the gold. So one thing that we need to do with this gold is we soak her in some hot water. For about 6 minutes. With this Krylon, the paint doesn't always go on wonderfully if you don't heat it up a little bit first. So we'll let it sit for 6 minutes. We'll go upstairs. We will spray paint those pips gold. Okay, paint is heated. Do a little test spray. Pretty good. Here we go. And we'll let it dry and we'll see what it looks like. The gold is dry. We have very good coverage on it. And now, the next step is getting the black in that pip. And for that, we use black nail polish. Specifically, this is Sally Hansen Insta Dry, which I believe came from Target. So, here's how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna leave the pip on this because it's gonna be easier to position it and move it around. And what we do is we very carefully take this black and it's gonna come out and it's gonna, you need enough where it's just gonna kind of drip off. And you put a couple little dollops in, and then we very carefully shake it around. Come on, you're almost there. There we go. And then, once it's in there, we set that down, we put the cap back on, and we let it dry. Look, that's really all there is to this, right? After that nail polish dries, you just go and you hit all of them with a Rust-Oleum matte clear coat. Don't use a gloss, make sure you use the matte, which will really even things out and creates more of that same finish that you do see on the shows, right? Because if you're thinking back to Next Gen and Voyager and Deep Space Nine, they aren't glossy. They don't shine like you see in Discovery and things like that, Strange New Worlds. They're more matte finish, so that is going to help you tone this down a little bit and achieve that finish. Hope this was helpful. Hope this was instructional. Hope you enjoyed it. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Feel free to check out our Patreon if you like what we're doing here and you feel like supporting us financially. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time, and until then, keep creating.